You know what I mean? That's another motivation for me to do what I do and grind how I grind and want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as getting up and going, it's like the same thing like getting up and going to school. Let's like set this up. Now, meanwhile, the job kind of like, man, this dude ain't gonna call me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he had told me.
Can't do nothing without you, no.
What's up, y'all, man? What's up, my God Talk people? Guess what? This is season 2. This is the first episode of season 2, man. So, hey, before we get into this, I want to appreciate everybody that's been watching, subscribing, tapping in, people that's been empowered by everybody's stories, and we're gonna keep coming with great stories. You know what I'm saying? So, by the word of your testimony, you overcome. So, let's get straight into it. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Chef Andrea. You know, man.
Go ahead. Nah,
you good. I'm just really happy to be here.
No, man. Yeah.
But I'm Chef Andrea. I've known Saul for a little while now, not too long. We met through a mutual friend, but since I met him, we've been locked in. Yeah. So like I said, I cook gourmet cuisine. I own a food truck, Brunch Me Please. From Jacksonville, Florida, moved out here to the New Mexico area. So since I've been out here the last 3 years, I've just been meeting and knowing and getting to know a lot of people, and here we are.
Yes, sir. I like that. So you know what that means. We're going to dive straight into it, y'all. Talk to me and talk to them on how you grew up and how was your living arrangements growing up.
All right, yeah, cool. So like I said, I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. My dad died when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he died when I was 5 years old. And my mom, she remarried, a couple years later after that. Mm. So, and she's still married to this day to my stepdad. So, even though with my dad passing, me and my brothers have still been fortunate to be in a 2-parent household.
Wow, that's good. And by all that happening, was you kind of like when your mom got another man, or was you too young to know?
I was old enough to remember everything. Like, I remember when they told me they had got married.
Oh, okay. What age you think you was at?
I was probably about 7.
Oh, you can function.
6 or 7. Yeah. So, yeah, I remember they told me they had got married, and I was like, I'm real silly. You know what I'm saying? I've always been real silly. So I think I remember to like pass out or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But ever since then, I don't know. Me and my stepdad, we did have a rocky relationship all the way up until even a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? We just always had a rocky relationship. Like, it's been good. The good is always good. It's always fun. But then when it's bad, it be bad. You know what I'm saying? But I think with both of us getting older, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting older, so he's a little more humble. You know what I'm saying? He be saying stuff like, y'all all I got, don't put me in a nursing home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then with me getting older, as far as like, I've kind of let it be known, like, I've realized I don't have to take any type of negativity or anything like that from anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know they care about me, and I'm not somebody that they want to have distance in between.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think with a combination of all of that, we've been able to come together and find a common ground, and just coexist, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of like be a family.
I like that. And was there any struggles and stuff like that? Y'all have to deal with financial stuff and financial problems and stuff growing up?
No. Actually, like, they always said it, but looking back, it was true. Me and my brothers was actually kind of spoiled.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So if my parents weren't able to do something, we never knew about it. We never knew about it. We was already always financially stable, always straight. It wasn't until we got older that my parents started kind of hitting a little hardship and stuff. You know what I mean? That's another motivation for me to do what I do and grind how I grind and want to be successful. But like I say, just very fortunate that we never had to, be on any type of government assistance, need any help, nothing like that. So I'm always thankful for that.
Wow, that's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a real blessing. And by you having siblings, was there any like fights, or was you always close?
Yeah, me and my younger brother, so it's me, and then I have a middle brother, and then I have a younger brother.
Okay.
So me being older, I kind of like, yeah, we was there, but I really wasn't dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? They was like babies.
Oh, okay. So because you way older than them, huh?
Well, we all got like 3 years in between.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my brothers, they were really, really close growing up. Like they were so close in age. Like I think they may be even like, I don't know, 2 years apart, because when one brother turns a certain age, they're like right behind each other, like 8 and 9. Until like when so my middle brother's birthday is in March. I think he's like, well, it just passed. So he was 31, but before that, him and my younger brother was 29 and 30.
Oh, okay,
so my brother's birthday came in March and he turned 31.
Oh,
so yeah, they 2 years in between, but we all kicked it, but they were younger and they boys, so they was kind of grouped up all the time. As we got older, me and my middle brother, we real close. Me and my younger brother, we cool. He kind of do his own thing, but we still kind of bump heads.
Right.
My mama say we like twins, but just different ages. So that's how that goes. It's all love. It's all love.
Right. And you said about your dad passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did that take a toll on you growing up?
I think so, because I didn't talk about it.
Right.
I didn't talk about it. There were certain things that happened that I kind of, it's almost like he didn't exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, but I obviously have very fond memories of him, but it just kind of, it seemed like it never happened. So, and it was something I never talked about.
Right.
So I remember my mom kind of putting me in therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just something that, it's like kind of weird. Like she never says nothing about him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I just felt like those memories were private to me.
Right.
And those feelings, they were private, and it wasn't nothing that I wanted to share. I remember as I get older, it's a little harder. I'm cool, but it was throughout my teen years.
Mm-hmm.
My teen years, it was a little harder because those were times where I felt like I needed him the most.
Right.
Even though he had been dead by this time, like 10 years, 9 years, those were times where I felt like I kind of needed him the most and didn't really understand. And even now, sometimes I think about it, and it's like as you grow, it's different levels of sadness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
That's true, though.
levels of sadness.
That's true.
Now I'm becoming so successful, and it's like, dang, you wasn't here to see any of it or to even know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's stuff like that, but nah, I'll be straight.
Wow. That's great. That's great. And yes, sir, y'all. Stemming from that great story right there, when you started to grow up, realize things and started, really like, when I say go outside, I ain't talking about to go outside like going to clubs yet, but just going outside like really to get it off the things. What are the things you was getting into?
Definitely sports.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played basketball from the moment that I knew I could, all the way up until like the end of high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was really kind of like my main focus. Playing basketball and getting money. Like, I just wanted to get money.
Right.
Like so bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are things.
What's call it? You never got into like no fights or nothing?
Nah, I never got into no fights. I remember, never got into no fights that was like some real fights. Like this one time, and I got a homie that he bring, when he see me, he bring this up and he make fun of me every day. Shout out to Ryan. But this was like, I think second grade going to third. No, this was third going to fourth summer camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ended up seeing this guy make fun of my friends, this other kid making fun of my friends. And I kind of told him to leave him alone. He's like, well, what you gonna do? And I like picked him up and bammed him on his back. Yeah. So it
was a dude?
It was a dude.
Oh.
It was a dude. And that man was hurt. You know what I'm saying? And we were supposed to go to Chuck E. Cheese for the little trip. And they told me I couldn't go unless I wrote a letter, apology, and all that. But so it was like little stuff like that. I never had no beef with nobody. I've always been very kind or non-confrontational, very easy to get along with. So,
right. Yeah. And did you battle like with tragedy things and stuff like that?
Nah, man, very fortunate. Like I say, the most tragic thing that's happened to me was my dad passing.
Right.
Um, my granddad did pass at a later age. This was by the time I was already out of high school, finished college and all that stuff.
Right.
So, but nah, man, no tragedies. I've just been really, really thankful and really blessed.
Wow, that's really a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Because you what, and you still in, as we talking about this, you still in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Jacksonville.
So by being in Jacksonville, man, it was nothing like you never been through like something that was like crazy. Being in Jacksonville, because I ain't saying Jacksonville just a crazy place. Shout out to Jacksonville though.
Hey, they get busy down there.
They get busy in Jacksonville, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. But it's like, I mean, for you to be in just in a city, period. I ain't even gonna name what city, because every city do what they do. You see what I'm saying? But just being in a city, being in a fast paced movement, and you just never really got into stuff, and that's really great.
Yeah, my mom, like I said, my stepdad was there. He obviously there, married to my mom, but my mom really, man, if you was to meet her, she's like, I don't know anybody else like her.
Right.
Like she's literally one of the sweetest people that you could ever meet in your life. And when she taught me things, I listened and I implemented them. You know what I mean? Like when my mom said, like, y'all don't be doing drugs, and my brothers started smoking weed as we got older, I was like, mom number 2, like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like on them about it because it's like, mom said this is bad. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. So I listened. I listened to my parents. I wasn't in the streets. I had no desire. One thing about me is that I'm really big. I've always been really big on watching other people and seeing how they turned out and not wanting to be like that. Like I'm always like that. Like I learned from 2 different types of experiences. I learned from my own experience, and I learned from the experiences that I see other people go through.
Wow, and that's the great way to do things, man. Because yeah. Because I did that too, but for some reason I ended up diving in. But
and it happens, you know what I'm saying? It happened, and it can happen easily too. But I just never kicked it around certain people. I never wanted to be out late. I always wanted to be safe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've always made the best decision when it comes to my life or my safety. I'm not saying that I ain't made no bad decisions, because I have. Right. I've made decisions that's kind of steered me in situations that I had to get out of, but nothing to where that's more so like adult life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing like as a teen where I wasn't in nothing. We was in the church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we went to church every Sunday. I've been going to church not so much since I've been an adult, because I ain't gonna lie, and a lot of my friends say this, when your parents really like shove church down you, when you get older, you really don't want to do no more.
Nah, they real.
Real. Where 2 or more people gather together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as getting up and going, it's like the same thing like getting up and going to school. We was in church all the time, so I really had good backing, and it ain't just my mom and them; it's my entire family. You know what I'm saying? All the way down from my grandparents, my aunts, my cousins. We not like that, so that's a blessing.
That is a blessing, and so you so growing up, you never like dived into drugs. I'm gonna say dive into drugs and stuff like that.
Nope.
Wow.
No, never did no drugs growing up. Like I ain't even smoke weed for the first. I don't smoke anymore, but the first time I smoked weed, I was 24. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but you really waited till you like got out to your mom crib and wait till you got your own spot and stuff like that to do all that, huh?
Yeah, but I think it wasn't even until I had when I did it, I had no intentions of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It kind of just happened. Right. I was kicking it with somebody who was doing it all the time, and then I was just like, you know what? I want to see, because people knew me. They knew I wasn't about none of that. Right. They knew not to even ask me. You know what I'm saying? So when I did it, what I will say is it was a decision that I made totally on my own. Right. And it lasted for 8 years, but it's over with. Ain't nothing on nobody else, but it just,
I hear that. No, I hear that, man. That's good. That's real. That's a real blessing, man. Because, yeah, I started doing them suckers early.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person you can peer pressure.
Right, and that's great.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You can't peer pressure me. You can't make me do nothing I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I've never been. I've been like that. I've been able to really run my own life since I was a child.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
because it took me a minute. it took me a minute to know I was a leader and not a follower. It took me a minute. I kind of always knew I was a leader, but for some reason I just had to follow for a little bit in order to be a leader.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody knows themselves off rip like that.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go through things and be like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little smarter than these dudes. I'm a little, or the decision that they're trying to make, I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna just go with it because I'm chilling. But in the back of my mind, I already know, what really should be done.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to learn. Sometimes you have to learn yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man. That's right. And that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, that's what I had to do. And I heard that you spoke on that you had to get yourself out of something. You mind speaking on one of those things you had to get yourself out of?
Now by this time I'm like grown.
Okay.
But bad relationships.
Bad relationships.
Hey, yeah, I was if people close to me know I was in a real bad relationship. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I'm not the type of person to get myself in bad situations.
Right.
But I felt like I was helping somebody. I felt like somebody needed a chance. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like all the goodness that I got, that's what you missing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know the type of person you are. And I know we, bring this whole thing in, we can go to another level. But it ain't like that with everybody. Sometimes you got to look at people and be like, nah, you where you at for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
right.
You where you at for a reason. So I had to. It was a few years long, and it kept getting worse. But as it kept getting worse, when I look back, I knew that it was God trying to take me up out of there, and me being hard-headed, thinking like, nah, I can steer this thing in the right path. And then every situation that kind of happened just kept getting worse, until I finally was like, I'm not going to jeopardize my life, my safety, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So when I say get myself in situations, it's something like that. It's never really involved. Again, I still made my own decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I obviously see that was not the right decision. And all the signs was there. They say them red flags look like Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? The red flags be looking like Six Flags.
I never heard that.
Yeah, they say that. Hey, the red flags be looking like Six Flags now. You got to chill.
Wow.
So that's when I kind of learned more about there are different people in the world, and different people have different intentions. You know what I'm saying? And just because you're a good person, just because you show you care for somebody, don't mean that they got the same intentions for you.
That's right, man. That's crazy, man. I like that. And yeah, man, from that story, before we dive into this, because I know what that mean to be in like a relationship like that.
Yeah.
But besides that, through the midst of all that, in the midst of growing, growing up and stuff like that, as you growing, when did you realize you wanted to start your own business, wanted more for yourself, wanted to be successful, wanted to just look beyond, be beyond all that, everything in that nature? When did you realize that?
Well, I actually knew I wanted to be. I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 7, 8.
Because you say you wanted that money when you
yeah. So really, take it all the way back, like to when I remember the first time I was in the 4th grade, and I don't even know where I got this idea from, but I asked my mom. I was like, I want to sell candy at school.
Right.
I want to sell candy. So I asked her, can she take me to Sam's? She took me to Sam's. We bought some candy, and I was trying to sell it at school. And little things throughout then, I just kept doing it. I knew I wanted to make my own money. So, shout out to everybody at Frank H. Peterson. My nickname is Cake Maker.
What is that, a school?
That's my high school that I went to in Jacksonville, the West Side Skill Center.
Okay.
So I used to sell cake. Me and my homie Robert, we was like, yo, let's start selling cake. We would bake cakes and we would sell them. And I had the strawberry with the strawberry frosting. He did the yellow cake with the chocolate frosting. And we both sold brownies. You know what I'm saying? And we actually kind of started a movement, because then the homie Big Mike, he got the duffel bag. He's selling candy and all kind of stuff. Other people starting to sell stuff. So like, yo, I actually got caught. They was like, yo, you can't really be doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we kept doing it. You know what I mean? But So it's little stuff like that. Me and my homegirl, before we could get a job, we was cutting lawns and washing cars. So I knew I always wanted to make my own money. And then once I got my first job, I knew like I wanted to own my own business.
And where was you working at?
My first job was at Zaxby's, but my real first job, like real, was at Dairy Queen.
Oh, you like the Dairy Queen?
Yeah, everybody knew DQ was the spot. DQ was the spot for sure.
Right.
I worked there from like 15, 16, all the way to like 20. All the way to 20. And then I left for a couple years, and then I ended up going back. And then I left for good. But it was just always in my blood. Something. I remember I was in my teens or something, and I told my uncle, he owns his own businesses. He's in Atlanta. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna own a McDonald's by the time I'm 25. And he started laughing.
Right.
And when he laughed, it kind of made me mad a little bit.
And this was your uncle, you said?
This is my uncle. But the reason he laughed was because with him being an entrepreneur, he knew it wasn't that easy.
And what does he do, if you don't mind me asking?
No. So my uncle's in the real estate. He had his own cookie business, Uncle Ed's Gourmet Cookies.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe he ended up selling that business. He owns some Auntie Annie's. So he got his hands in a lot of different things. He was doing Airbnbs.
Wow.
As of recently. So my uncle always been an entrepreneur, working for himself, doing his own thing.
Right.
So when he laughed at me, like I said, it kind of made me mad a little bit, but he wasn't telling me I couldn't do it. He was like, it ain't finna come that fast. Because I don't remember exactly what age I was when I told him, but 25 wasn't that far away. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you talking about 25 years old?
Yeah.
How old was you saying?
I don't remember, but I'm saying like I was young. So even if I was 15, that's 10 years, but I still got 3 more years left of school. Right. So we thinking now you look from 18 to 25, that's not enough time. I don't have no plan. That's what a lot of people kind of get into. We want to do a lot of things, but we don't have no plan to do it. Right. So we think it may be that easy. And I don't, I ain't mad at my thought process or wanting to do none of that, because it just lets you know I had the mindset. I want to own my own business. I want to do my own thing. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know I want to do it.
So, and then by you doing that, when did you like how did you start? Like, talk to me about that. Like, how did you start to like, so because you're a chef, so when did you make your first meal and started to let people try it and let people taste it and stuff like that? So talk to me when that happened.
Yeah, so when I turned about 19, I started working at this mom and pop spot back at home that's real popular. And originally I'm getting a job cooking because it's easy. I know I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just kind of like going through the motions. Remember, in the back of my mind, I always want to own my own business.
Right.
But that's all I know. All I know is I want to own my own business. I'm not knowing nothing else about it. So I'm working at the mom and pop spot. I'm getting really good. And then as I continue to grow, I started working at different restaurants. I stayed places, I had longevity, but if I wasn't feeling it no more, I would go find a restaurant that I could learn from. Right. You know what I'm saying? Something that I could up my skills. It really became to the point where it's like, you're not hiring me, I'm hiring you. I'm hiring you to teach me. You're going to pay me in the process, but I'm hiring you to teach me. And it just kept going. I think from 19 all the way to like 28, it was really me just soaking up the knowledge. Soaking up the knowledge. Like I say, wanting to own my own business is still in the back of my mind, but I'm not really tapping into how I can do that or nothing, because as I'm living my daily life, I'm learning so much new things. I'm really perfecting my craft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it came to a point where, you get tired of working, and now I'm older. I'm like 27, 28. And I'm like, all right. No, I'm actually like 28, 29. I'm like, all right, it's time for me to start. It's time for me to take all of the knowledge that I know and really figure out how I can put this into a plan to really start my own.
Yeah. And what I like about that right there, because your job, every job that you went to, like, well, restaurant wise, like really helped you to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because like I learned from this wise teacher, and shout out Prophet Lovey. You know what I'm saying? He taught me so much, and he when he was breaking it down, he was like, no, actually, shout out Prophet Lovey too, but actually this was from another teacher named Dr. Miles Monroe, and he was like, your job is supposed to help you for what God has for you. So, for example, like Peter in the Bible, Peter was a fisherman, but Peter didn't know the reason he was fishing because he was going to be a fisher of men. To save souls and gather all the sheep that Jesus needed him to gather. So his job was really helping them for what God wanted him to do.
And he took that same skill that he would learn and apply it to people. Bringing the people
to God.
Yeah.
And that's the same. And by me hearing that why that's so great, because that's the same thing with you. Yo, you weren't just getting a job just to, because I can see if you want to, if you a chef, but you want to go get a job at the tile place. I mean, people gonna want to make money to be able to build up and stuff like that. But it's like
I kept it in that same industry.
You kept in that same industry. I mean, that industry, and that's the thing. I ain't saying don't go get a job. You want to make some extra cash to do what you're doing, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna find a job that's gonna line up with your destiny. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's gonna line up with your destiny. So if you like cars and fix cars and do tires and stuff like that, go work at Discount Tire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's helping you for when you get your own shop and your own business, you're gonna do the exact same thing. Not the exact same thing, but you're gonna be similar to the Discount Tire.
Exactly.
But it'll be your business.
And that's exactly how it happened, man. Like, every job was a level up.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Before, I didn't mean to stop you, but did you work in the kitchen at Dairy Queen?
No, so the Dairy Queen that I worked at, it actually didn't have a kitchen.
Oh,
this was different. It had just the ice cream, and then as time progressed, like, he ended up getting like these tabletop fryers. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't have the grill. So even though I worked at Dairy Queen for like 6 years, I hadn't worked at no grill yet. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't worked on no grill. Even when I was working at the mom and pop spot, it had been years since I had been working there. I remember one day, this what happened. I was working the fried salad station.
Right.
I probably worked that for like maybe 2 years, a couple years. And I had a homie who would always work the grill. And I remember saying, like, man, I don't want to work that grill because they was getting towed up over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'm good over here. They getting towed up. And then one day I had got all my stuff done. We in the middle of a rush, but I'm straight. And I'm looking over there. And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at what he doing. I'm looking and I'm thinking, I can do that. I ain't never worked over there before, but what he doing ain't the right thing. I can do that.
Right.
So then slow days, I kind of start getting over there. That's how we do in the restaurant industry. When it's slow, come get over here, get that learning. Once it kind of pick up, everybody get in your place. You know what I'm saying? And then I asked for a solo shift. I was like, let me work this solo shift. I remember the first day I did it, and it was straight. And then after that, I never wanted to go back. I was like, nah, keep me right here. And I just kept getting better and better and better. And man, it got to the point where, like, different jobs, they looking at me for like management and stuff. Because not only do I know how to lead, I know how to take constructive criticism. I'm a fast learner. You know what I'm saying? I'm respectful. You know what I mean? So I just really started to see that I was leveling up really fast in different jobs. One of the last jobs I had, I knew how to work everything, but I got it as a second job.
Right.
And I was like, nah, I'm gonna work this fried salad over here. Back where I used to be. Because I knew that was the chill. I was like, I ain't trying to do too much. I already got a day job where I'm really doing my thing over there. So nah, I'm cool. But when you get to a certain level, when you really start to perfect your craft, you can really start making decisions of where you want to be placed versus where somebody wants to place you.
Right. And all that, you progressing and growing in that, you all interpret that into what you're doing today with your business.
Yep, because again, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm getting jobs at like fancier restaurants because I'm looking at their menu before I even apply.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm all of that what you said, and I'm still learning and still progressing. You know.
Wow. I like that for sure. And yeah, that sucker right there was great. But talking about the relationship again,
Mm-hmm.
how did that relationship transpire into your business? So talk about that.
Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, I was in a horrible relationship. I feel like it was 5 years long. I feel like it kind of set me back.
Right.
But at the same time, it really positioned me to gain more knowledge about things. It was all preparation. That's how I feel. It was all preparation. So, I got into some trouble being in that relationship, had some stuff that I had to fight through, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Court system and all that. By the grace of God, none of that ever stuck and affected me.
And they'll put you behind bars.
No.
Wow.
Never put me behind bars permanently. I might have went for a night or two.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
it never put me behind there personally. And then I really started to see how my life was diminishing and how it was like, not to overuse the word, but toxic, and how I'm letting this situation really take away from the greatness of me.
And this all in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, this all in Jacksonville. So by the grace of God, enough is enough. And I got up out of that thing and I ain't looked back since. I had to start back from scratch. You know what I'm saying? I had to move back in with my parents. But one thing about me, I'ma always get it. So I moved back in with my parents like maybe like that September. And by December, right, a few weeks before Christmas, I was in my spot. You know what I'm saying? I had got me a new spot. And then a couple months later, I had got me a car. And the job that I had at that time, I was leveled up to a position that I had been working for since I started working there.
Right.
Yeah. So then, now I see me getting back to the old me. I see me getting back to the blessings are coming left and right. You know what I'm saying? There's no negativity around me.
Why is that?
People you got around you. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that bad energy around you. People who don't mean you no good. People who y'all lives ain't even aligning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You think you know a person and people be living double lives. People be doing all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And as I look back, there was a reason why I couldn't level up the way that I wanted to. Because even in a relationship, I was still starting little side businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still trying to be the person I was while having this baggage with me. I'm trying to bring it all together. But it don't work like that. It don't work like that when your lives aren't aligned. When y'all ain't got the same focus. When y'all not on one accord. You know what I'm saying? When this person got all this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it was hindering you.
It was hindering me majorly because I'm still trying to be me.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got up out of it that flip of a light switch, I was back to me. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I was getting or the opportunities or whatever that was happening before that situation, they start coming back. And even in the midst of that situation, I had people kind of telling me things. Family, they kind of knew, and they like, we don't like this for you. You know what I'm saying?
Like telling you things like as in far as what, like leave out the relationship and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, my auntie, shout out to my auntie, she's very vocal. And she never really she wasn't with it from the beginning. And that's something I ain't really understand because I'm like, man, you don't even know this person. But my auntie's obviously older than me. You know what I'm saying? She got that discernment. She can see, she can feel it.
Right.
But we were so destined to prove everybody wrong. I'm being hard-headed. I'm being naive. You know what I'm saying?
You was in love.
Hey. I mean, and I guess you could really say that because it was somebody that I cared for a tremendous amount of time even before that. But other people that outside looking in is real different than that inside looking out.
Right.
And like I say, I had people coming to me. I'm talking about even strangers. They coming to me, and they not necessarily speaking bad, but they like, good is gonna come to you soon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that it's coming while I'm in that situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. I have to separate myself from that. So when I separated myself from that situation, like I say, everything just started coming back to me. I'm focused on me now.
Right.
The money there. I ain't never been down bad. Like I told you, my family, my family's always been fortunate to never need no type of assistance or nothing. But now I'm poor. I'm poor for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I'm just things that I don't have to go through. I'm going through them because I'm with this person, trying to bring this person up out of it.
Right.
Like I said, I started bouncing back. So then I made the decision. I'm like, man, you know what? I feel like I got a second chance at life. I feel great. I want to get out of Jacksonville.
Right.
You know, I can just feel it. I want to change. And I ended up getting a job out in West Texas, being a chef in the oil field.
Right.
I worked out there for about 2 years. Learned so much. I worked my way up really quick, all the way to sous chef. All the way to sous chef. And I was like fill-in executive chef for when the exec wasn't there. And then I got tired of being away from my family. So I went back home for a couple months. When I went back home, the homeboy had called me and was like, yo, I got an executive chef spot for you out here in Carlsbad. Come out here and get it. And at this point in my career, outside of owning my own business,
and this is New Mexico, right?
This is New Mexico.
Because there's a Carlsbad, California.
Yeah.
So okay.
It's a Carlsbad, California. So like I said, I went home a little bit. My homeboy called me. And like I said, out of my career, other than owning my own business, the only other thing I'm missing is the executive chef title.
Right.
I've never officially had that. So I got that. And I was out there. I was working at that camp for a little bit. And then I started meeting friends and telling them what I do. And then they told me about the Hog Fest. And they was like, yo, you should be in the Hog Fest. You should do that. And I'm like, what? So I went to my homie. I'm like, yo, let's like set this up. Now, meanwhile, the job kind of making me mad. So like at the end of the day, I'm really like going in my room and I'm researching how to start my business.
Right.
I'm like getting everything together. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to kick it after work like every day, but then it became a point where I stopped kicking it because I'm like,
you focus.
I'm focused.
Right.
I'm focused. I'm in there learning how to register my business, doing what I need to do. And so by the time I approached him with this, I even had my business license for New Mexico. I had found out where the department of planning department was. I went and got my business license. So when I approached my homie with this, he's like, well, don't you need all this? I was like, I got it. I already got it. You know what I'm saying? So we sold the first plate out in Hog Fest. And man, we got great reviews, but I didn't know how good the reviews were until we did the second event. Hog Fest is in August. We did the 16th of September event in September. And when we were set up, people was like, we've been looking everywhere for you, wondering where you was. That food was so good. And I'm kind of taken back. Like, I know my food good, but I'm just like, dang, for real? Y'all been looking for me? You know what I'm saying? But they didn't know who I was. They didn't know I had a job. I just popped up. Like, everybody came out to Hall Fest, and it was like, oh, who is this? I had a banner made. I had just popped up and everything. Matter of fact, my first setup was like, it was real trash. You know what I'm saying? Like the tent, I had a tent. The side walls wasn't even the same color as the tent. You know, we had some tables, but to me, all that mattered was that we was out there.
Right.
You know, all that mattered that we was out there. So after I got such good reviews from the second event, my job still like making me mad. We short staffed. They're not really trying to do nothing about it. Like people ain't trying to come to work. You know, just.
So they got you on a lot of shifts, huh?
Nah, I'm the executive chef. And I'm on salary.
So what's that mean?
It's my kitchen.
Oh, you was cooking at the what's the name?
At the camp?
Yeah, no. At the what was that? You was at West Texas. It was
that was an oil field camp.
Okay, then. And
then when I went to this one, that's another oil field camp, but it's in Carlsbad.
But you can cook in there.
Yeah. So the way the oil field camp work is like, let's say you work in the oil field. You know, let's say you work for Chevron.
Yeah.
Chevron pay you to go do your thing out there. Let's say you live in Florida, but you work for Chevron. They told you to come out to Carlsbad.
Yeah.
You come out to Carlsbad. You go out in the field. You work. But the camps is like hotel rooms just for the oil field workers.
Oh, okay.
So it's hospitality. So you got your bed. You know what I'm saying? They got a laundry facility. You can wash your clothes. You get up. We cook breakfast, and we cook lunch, and we cook dinner. You know what I'm saying? So I was over the entire kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I was in charge of all that. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner at certain times, and they come in.
Hey, so your job still had your destiny aligned with it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine. I
never left. And the thing about it is, one thing I like to tell people is, I have a lot of talents. I'm not just a chef. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
But you gotta stay focused on one thing and master that one thing until you can start doing other things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be a chef and know how to work on cars. And I'm trying to, and I'm cooking 1 minute, then I'm working at the car shop, then I'm cooking, then I'm working at. You got to, if you want to open your own auto body shop or something, that's cool. But you gotta stick one lane and master that one lane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People get too caught up in doing so many different things that all that time is taken away. You can only spread yourself so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was out there, and once that 16th of September came and everybody's like, oh, we've been wanting your food. Hey, that was really all I needed to hear. Not that long later, I think I started looking for a place to live. And once I found a place to live, man, I quit my job and I was out of there. And I went like straight up cold turkey. Like, I took the tent that I had, I set up outside and was cooking outside. I was out there holding up a sign. I had a plate. I'm holding up a plate, waving to people. And I'm pissed because so many people, and it's right around the corner from my job where I used to work. So I'm mad because so many people passing me. You know what I'm saying? So many people passing me, and I'm like, man, if we was in Florida, they see a black chick on the side of the road, they pulling over like, what you got?
Right.
Everybody passing me. And it was kind of discouraging, but I still got out there every day. I got out there every day. And even when I thought I wasn't doing as well as I was, I had somebody ask me, they was like, your bills paid? My bills been paid ever since. I've never been in a bind. You know what I'm saying? My bills been paid. And once I started looking at it like my bills paid, I'm like, oh, I am making some money. I am, I'm straight. I got money to pay my bills, to buy food, and get back out there again.
Ooh. Hey, and did you ever realize that you would have never been able to have the ability to do all things if you'd have still been in that relationship?
Oh, straight up.
Yeah, you see, hey, God is good, man, because he already knew what you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So by you leaving all that, starting and starting a new location, he was gonna be able to bless you and keep everything aligned so that you may start. Mm-hmm. So you may start everything you want to start. I was looking for another word I was trying to put. I couldn't find it. But
I tell people all the time that relationship was the best and the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
Because it really took the glasses off. I was seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. I was younger, so I'm seeing the world like, because I'm a good person and I do good, nobody will ever do me wrong. And it ain't like that.
And no.
That's when I learned, like, it's really people out here with, ulterior motives out here. It's really people that's really willing to snake you. It's people that one of the main things I learned was a person who has nothing will help you lose everything. A person who has nothing will easily help you lose everything.
And what I like about when you said you thought being a good person and nobody never do nothing to you and you knew you was wrong. That's how I used to feel, because I used to be and I still got it in me. Like, now I still make a person laugh. I still be funny and stuff like that. But it was at a point where that's all I was doing, trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And then the moment where I knew that people gave me the vibe, like, treated me like, make me laugh all the time, because they knew that's what I do. I'll make you laugh, make you giggle, which is a great thing.
Yeah, of course.
But it kind of messed me up to be like, I'm finna be serious. So now I'm finna start walking down these school hallways with a mad face. So it messed me up by trying to be funny, but which was a great thing, and me not knowing that it was a great thing, things in my head.
Well, they like never took you serious.
Yeah, like people ain't taking you serious because you got whispers in your ear that'll tell you, hey, well, they ain't taking you serious.
And then people think they can play with you.
And that was another thing. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, shoot, man, forget all that, man. I'm finna try to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff like that. But then I realized, man, once God delivered me and stuff like that, like, I'm finna be funny.
Yeah. and that's good. Though. That's good. Because one thing I did, I never let that situation or any other bump in the road change who I was.
Right.
Because who I am is why I continue to be blessed. Like, why would I change? Why would I have a cold heart? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm getting blessed from having a warm heart, from having an open heart, from having a genuine heart. Why would I change that up because of what somebody else did? That person got to deal with that.
Right.
Not me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, I ain't been through a whole lot, but I've been through enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you're in a position where your freedom is in jeopardy, that's enough.
That's enough.
And and like I say, I always been the type of person, I ain't hang with the wrong crowd.
Right.
I ain't never, get in no car and I knew people was doing things they weren't supposed to. I always watched that. But that situation let me know you could get caught up in more ways than one.
Right.
Devil come at you in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
I was able to really kind of take a step back and look. And now you can't trust everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust everybody. Like, even if I make jokes with you, like you, of course, you my peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm able to judge people a little bit better. But I don't put it past nobody. Anybody get in the wrong type of situation, they'll do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? They'll do you messed up. And yeah, man. That's why you gotta keep that circle small though.
Yeah, you sure do, man.
Gotta keep that circle small. So.
hey, all right, man. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, and wow, that right there was all that right there of going through this, going through that, doing this, doing that. That was all great, and now this the best part.
Yes.
So going through all that, going through the midst of all that. What are some of the great things that God has blessed you with now, with all of your business, everything that you're doing? What He has blessed you with now, all the opportunities, people you have met, just great things that you're doing.
Oh man, God has blessed me tremendously. I've been able to flourish. You know what I'm saying? I end up coming across a food truck.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because that was my goal. Like, I wanted to open my own business. Then it kind of moved to like, I want a food truck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had been kind of looking for one and not really even looking for one off and on, but not really because I ain't really got the funds at this point. You know what I'm saying? So the guy who I know, one of his friends was like, he said, yeah, my homeboy got a food truck and, he had brought you up. Now I never met this dude, never seen him.
And he said
the dude had brought me up.
He said the dude said he was your homeboy.
No. No. So my home Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy over at Thelma Wings and Things in Carlsbad. Jimmy had came and told me. Matter of fact, I think I just pulled. Either he called me or I just pulled up on him. And he called me. He's like, yeah, my homie Mo, he got a food truck, he got a food trailer, and he got it for sale. So Jimmy, I said, where y'all at? He's like, we over here at the shop. And I was like, I'm gonna be there in like 5 minutes. So I pull up on him and he kind of telling me about it. And as he's saying, I'm like, the guy had been mentioning about me having it.
Right.
Like something that I could use. And I'm like, who is this again?
Yeah.
Because I don't even know this dude.
Right.
He's like, Mo. And so he give me his and matter of fact, as we was talking, Mo ended up pulling up. So he telling me he got this food truck and this and that. He owned his own business. He owned a couple businesses.
Right.
And he's like, this is something I always wanted to do, but I don't know when I have the time. Like the food truck kind of came in his lap. You know what I'm saying? It fell in his lap. And he's like, I don't know when I got it, but I don't know when I had the time to do it. So, I might need to go ahead and get up off of it. So we exchanged numbers and he's like, let me think on it, see what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking like, man, this dude ain't gonna call me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he had told me like he had some cousins that wanted it too. Other people were starting to find out that he had it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, this dude ain't gonna call me. So I'm sitting at the house and he texts me about it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm asking him how much he want, this and that. And then I was like, but I ain't really got that right now. And I know you probably ain't even gonna take no payments or something. And he said, well, who said I wouldn't? So I instantly like went and looked at it and I got it. And he's like, yeah, just pay me, about a month. And I'm just like, oh man, I really got a food trailer. I can't believe this. So I'm paying him about a month. And in between time, I'm like getting it fixed up and stuff. And when I get it, I finally got it fixed up a year later.
Right.
And I was able to open up my food truck.
Wow.
But even before opening up the food truck, I was doing stuff in the tent. So now I'm really networking in the community, people knowing who I am. Even before the tent, I was selling plates out the house. Because I told you I was aside the road, and then somebody called the health department on me. The health department was hating; they came and shut me down.
Right.
So I started selling plates out the house. Right. And I'm selling plates. Then I got a tent. So now I'm doing events in the tent. Now I'm getting a little crew. You know what I'm saying? Then the food truck come along, and I'm knowing people at the chamber. I'm getting catering jobs for all kind of different oil companies and different companies, and I'm doing the Winter and Wine Festival 2 years in a row. The second one.
Right.
You pulled up too.
Yeah, I pulled up.
You pulled up too.
Yeah.
And even still, I'm just meeting so many great people in Carlsbad and outside of Carlsbad.
Right.
I'm texting celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I won't put their name out there.
Yeah.
I won't put their name out there because I'm still trying to make stuff happen.
Right.
But celebrities are seeing me. You know what I'm saying? Football players, ex-football players, they seeing me. We communicating. Really trying to get on the same page so we can do some work together.
Right.
Yeah. And so, like I say, now I'm able to go on vacations. You know what I'm saying? Like things is just really looking up, and I'm thankful. And now I'm getting ready to move to LA and expand the business out to LA. So I'll be moving there like next month.
LA people tap in.
Hey, tap in. LA, tap in. You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
And the thing with LA is that, Carlsbad has been so great to me. And it's just been wonderful. It's been a great start, but I just kind of feel like I'm capped out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I done did everything that I could.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Some things are getting kind of repetitive. And when things start, and that may not always be a bad thing, but when you want more, it's like, okay, I have to go get what's new. See,
you have to.
Certain things like, if you sit and wait, the things that need to come to you will come to you. But a lot of times you have to go out there and get it.
And that's right. And not mean to cut you off, but it's really depend on your vision.
Depend on your vision. And because a lot of people I talk to, and I'll kind of like, I don't want to downplay myself. I'm very successful. I meant to say I'm very happy of my success.
Right.
I'm very satisfied with my success of where I am right now.
Right.
But I'm not satisfied overall. So when I tell people like, yeah, I'm doing cool. I'm doing good. And they like, what? You doing great? And I'm like, yeah, but this ain't, I'm really just starting to scratch the surface. And they can't believe it. Because when they look at me, they're like, you're so successful. You're doing so well. And I'm like, man, y'all don't even see what I see though.
Right.
This thing is like, I'm gonna be a mogul out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is gonna be multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't see that. And
right.
So even now, a lot of people, when I tell them I'm moving, they're like, why? And I know they saying it from a place of, genuineness, because
they're gonna miss that food.
They're gonna miss that food.
They're gonna have to come to their restaurant in LA.
They're gonna miss that food. They're gonna miss that food. But at the same time, they happy for me.
And then not only that, my bad, but they even gonna miss you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have great food, but if the person that's making the food is just a bad person, and you know what I'm saying, ain't kind, ain't genuine, ain't showing love or nothing like that. So they really just go miss you because the food is you.
Exactly. Yo, I had a homie tell me that one time. I needed somebody to come help me with this event. Matter of fact, this was I think it was like Cinco de Mayo or something, and last year, and him and his wife was like, "Yeah, we'll help you out." So towards the end of the day, he's like, "Man, no wonder, chef, no wonder your food's so good. Like you be showing love. You put love.
Right.
Like I see he always ate my food,
Right.
but he never had been right there with me. And now he see how I interact with people, my positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like life too short, man. I'm out here smiling. I ain't got no reason to be sad. Even if situations come about, like they only temporary. You know what I'm saying? Trouble don't last always.
They don't.
They only temporary. So
Right.
I have so many more things to be thankful for than I have things to be upset about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff coming up, and I've just been thankful to do a lot of things and meet a lot of people, and the opportunities. I mean, they was coming so fast.
Right.
And honestly, I tell people, if you ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had a little thing that I was supposed to do in Louisiana.
Right.
And I think when I came back, I remember I was like, God, I don't want to sell no more plates. I hadn't really catered like that. I said, God, I don't want to sell no more plates. I want to be a caterer. Because that's the level to like doing the food truck. You know what I'm saying? It's like selling plates, catering, getting the food truck, restaurant. And I had never sold another plate after that until I wanted to. Maybe like a year later.
Right.
I had like a week off. And a lot of people, because I was doing caterings and events, a lot of people couldn't get to me like that.
Right.
So I was like, that was kind of like me giving back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna sell plates, drop the money or the addy, and I'm gonna pull up. You know what I'm saying? So I did that only because I wanted to.
Right.
I've always been a person to want to level up. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to do certain things for too long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do it for as long as I have to. But when I'm confident knowing that there's another level that I can go ahead and tap into, I'm ready to do that.
Right.
You know, I don't be complacent. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't be what's the word? I'm content. Some people get content and they never really tap in to their true potential.
Right.
And me, I'm kind of like one of the people like I'm never satisfied. I am, but I'm not, because I know there's so much more to what I can do.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, man, it's great right here, man.
No, for sure. Hey, like man. I love it. I love being up here, man. I appreciate it.
No, for sure, man. Y'all see, y'all, that a lot of great hey, look. First off, we're gonna start with when you get a job, make sure you get a job that's gonna help you to do with something else once you leave that job. But you know that job helped you with the destiny God had for you. Another thing is make sure to always have love. You know what I'm saying? You know, just always have love. Don't matter what because the things that she went through with her woman, she could have got out of that and just been ruthless. You know
what I'm saying? But it ain't in my heart to do that.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't let situations turn your heart the wrong way. You know, like I always say, you got a lot out of this. You know, don't stop. Keep going. Keep marching. You have to keep marching because God got something waiting for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And what he's waiting on is waiting for you to mature. You're maturing as you're going through that. You're maturing. And the more you mature, he can give you something. Like I said on one of the sponsors by the Holy Spirit, God can't give you nothing if your maturity level is low. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, God can't. Why would you give one of your nieces or your newborn baby a bomb or grenade?
Right.
Their capacity and their maturity level is not there. They'll, you know, that pin that's in a grenade, they'll open that sucker and they'll blow up. They mature, you know what I'm saying? And some of us, even if we grown, I ain't saying y'all babies and stuff like that, but even grown, even if you 25, 30, 18, 19, y'all maturity level still, some of y'all maturity level ain't there where if God give y'all something, y'all gonna already handle it. Some things he give y'all might, fumble. He mold you through the way.
And the one thing I want to say is that you absolutely right, because being mature doesn't mean that you immature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I felt like, why could I work so hard? You know what I'm saying? Why can't it go this way? And I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it.
Right.
I wasn't ready for it. And who knows what would have happened. So everything comes at the time that is ready. And also, I want to give a little context. I mean, I know we kind of got a little time out there, but that situation, that was like in my 20s.
Right.
That was in my 20s. And even though I was mature in my 20s, there was still so much that I needed to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad one thing you had said to me, you was like, you know, because I'm 34 now, you was like, you know, you don't think the same way you was when you was 28 or 24 or something. And it's funny you said that, because there has been times where, like, even when I turned 32, I remember when I turned 32 and I was like, man, the way my mind is right now is way different from when I was 30. It's way different. Like, people kind of see the world being so small. You know, people don't think the world and the opportunities are as wide and vast as they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta. I tap into a lot of different podcasts, and when you listen to people who are at the level that you want to be at, it really lets you know, like, the opportunities are endless. You know what I mean? The opportunities are completely endless.
Right.
So, but at the same time, everything, as long as you work towards it, it's gonna come when it's ready.
Yeah.
God ready to give it to you.
Yeah, right. You're right.
But you got to be ready.
You got to be ready, because God is a perfect God. So God will not give you nothing if you just gonna mess it all up. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, His ways not our ways. He might even do that, even though He know you gonna mess it all up.
Yep.
See, you just ain't no.
But situations like he'll do that. And let me tell you, that actually happened to me. That happened to me. So one part of the job, when I was saying after everything had happened and I got leveled up in the job that I had,
right?
He gave. I kind of left this part out. I was presented with the opportunity that I had really been working towards the whole time I was in that job.
Right.
And it was levels that you had to go through to get there. You had to be ready. And once the job was like, okay, you ready, and I got that opportunity, I went out there, and I ain't gonna lie, the job itself, I flourished.
Right.
But I kind of did something that kind of I had to leave. They had to send me back home.
Right.
And that situation, I always say, let me know that God was letting me know, hey, I know you just got out of this relationship that really almost took everything from you, but I need you to know that nobody can damage yourself the way that you could damage yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I had an opportunity taken away from me that I had worked so hard to get. I'm like, dang, I done survived all of this, and I go do this, and it's like, you are your biggest, you could be your worst enemy.
Right.
But at the same time, I said, I think that happened because something greater finna come along, and something greater did come along.
It did.
So when and they were kind of similar. So when that other situation happened, I knew I didn't want to make the same mistake twice.
And that right there made you wiser.
That made me wiser.
Yeah. See?
That made me wiser. But that had messed me up, because it's like, man, like I say, I always been somebody that made the best decision and this and that when it comes to myself. And I made a wrong decision. And man, I had got sent home from the job, and I didn't get fired, but they had to send me home. And I'm just like, man, I was embarrassed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't be doing stuff like that.
Right.
But like I say, I got over it real quick because I could feel in my heart. I promise on everything. I said, I think this was a lesson because something greater finna come along.
And it did.
And that's when it did. And yeah, man, we've been up ever since.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We've been up ever since.
I like that.
For sure.
And man, y'all can get a lot out of this, man. I hope y'all really got empowered by this testimony, man. Y'all see the whole walking testimony. See, the thing about this, y'all, is that they're walking us through their lives. We holding their hand. You see what I'm saying? And we starting from all the way up. You see what I'm saying? And seeing God's hands through everybody's life. So
sure.
what encouragement you got to say to all young men and young women out there that want to start their own business or just want to grow in life and want to, be something and just, fulfill their destiny? What you got to say to them?
Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing.
Right.
Work at it. You got to put the work in. You got nothing that I have was given. People always, I can't stand when people be like, oh, lucky, or they see me go like on a vacation or something, lucky.
Right.
And that's the thing is like, I'm here to show y'all that you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? You just got to have that mindset. Everybody want the same thing you got or want the same thing you may want, but they don't want to put the work in. You have to be consistent. You have to be diligent in your craft. You know what I'm saying? Network. Don't be afraid to get out there and talk to people.
Because see, and I'm glad. Hey, but I ain't gonna stop your encouragement.
Nah, you good.
And we ain't gonna keep going back. I'm gonna let them finish, and we gonna end this off. But look, I gotta help y'all real quick. You know why? Because I just got to teach them today. You need people.
You need people.
People. Every person, every human being carry a certain type of grace.
Mm-hmm. It's to the point where anybody I meet, unless I'm just like really just a little quick chat and stuff.
Right.
I feel like everybody I come in contact with got a purpose. I always ask them like, what you do? You know what I'm saying? Or people placed in your life and they could be the person that they could get, hey, that 6 degrees of separation. I told you about that 6 degrees. Hey, that thing real. Thing real, man. So you gotta talk to people. You gotta open up. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself out there.
Right.
You got to put yourself out there for sure, man. What else I got to say to the people, man? Keep praying. Keep God in your life. Keep a positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, all of those things, the consistency, the hard work, be very ambitious, very driven, network, talk to people, positive attitude, good heart. Those are all the things that made me who I am today. And I would not change anything at all.
Wow, man. God is good, y'all, man. This was a great episode, man. Sure. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button. Man, let's get to 100K subscribers.
Oh, 100K. Let's get to 200K.
Hey, let's get to 500K.
Let's get to million. Hey, we doing millies around here.
Hey, yeah, okay, we doing
nothing less than a mil.
We doing millies. Let's get to 1 million subscribers, y'all, and make sure to share it to everybody. Like I said, man, share it to your grandma, share it to your sister, share it to your XXX, share it to your cousin's baby mama, share it to everybody that you know. Share it to a friend you don't like. Share it to them. You know what I'm saying? Share it to everybody, man, and hit that notification button and subscribe. Remember, let's get to 1 million. And like I always say, if you're watching this, I dropped it. I love you, but Jesus love you more for sure.
Yeah, you do.